Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you as well to anybody who has subscribed recently. Thank you ever so much, and all your lovely comments. Some of them, it's really interesting for me to know what works and what doesn't work, and some of them are just really sweet, and some of them really make me laugh. Today's reading is based on watching somebody flirt in work, and it was just so different from what I normally see or would expect. It was so open, honest and direct and sexual. I was just taken aback, and so I thought, what an interesting topic to see how you flirt possibly, and how the person that you're interested in may flirt, and how you come together. So you've got three piles. You've got pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. Take your choice, now get going.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, right, let's get going. Okay, pile 1, how does your person flirt first? I'm going to go through everything bit by bit and see how it comes all together at the end, because there's quite a lot of information to take in. I'm saying I'm going to do that, and I'll start blurting about bits at the end first, but let's get going. Right, your person comes across as somebody who is very either maternal or paternal, very caring, very there, very giving. You've got the Queen of Cups here, which makes me think that your person is somebody who could possibly be quite mature in the way that they look at things, or may actually be older than you. They are the type of person that is just gentle, speaks quietly, possibly. It's the type of person that makes you a cup of tea when things have gone wrong. It's the type of person that invites you around and cooks you a really nice meal, and their clothes smell nice, and they provide for people. They make people feel comfortable when they're in uncomfortable situations. It's the type of person you're drawn to when you're close to tears. The person that hugs you when they can see that your chin's going. That type of person. Just there and just grounded. And, this is a water sign, so I'm staying grounded, but that's what I'm feeling. It's just somebody who is there and gives. It's like a mum or dad figure, but a good mum or dad figure. Not a bad mum or dad figure. How they come across is more or less the same thing. You've got Ceres here, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, and this is how they appear in everyday life. This is the first impressions that you get of this person. I think that they come across very much as who they are. I think they come across as caring, as we've just said. I think they come across as nurturing, but you've got the Five of Wands here. But I'm thinking sort of a Cancer feel about this, because the Five of Wands to me is a little bit arsey. And Cancer can be a little bit arsey, and I don't always mean face to face. And I've said this before in a really old reading where Cancer people or people, when they text, it always comes across as really rude, and you're like, why? You're such a nice person. What's what they just said? But it's something about they're quite brusque and to the point, but when they're face to face, they just speak nicely, and their intentions are good, and they have that look in their eye that you forgive them anything, or you definitely don't even notice it, to be honest. But when it comes out in a text, it can always seem quite brusque, and I don't know why that is. It's just something about the way that they communicate can be very straight. But they're also so giving and so caring, and when you get to know them, you don't even notice it. I don't notice it with people until I get a text with that type of person. So I think that your person is somebody who is very caring, very giving, very thinks about other people. Five of Wands, there's lots of other people here. They give, but they can also give off a slightly defensive edge. And that's what you may pick up on first meeting with this person. You will probably pick up that you feel safe with them, but you know that you can't push them too far because they will bite back if they need to. They could be quite defensive, which I suppose is Cancer with its shell. Right, deep down, they are more or less the same. There's still that water energy here, so they're quite emotional. They're very good at reading other people's emotions. They're very sensitive. They can pick up influences in the room, and they may, it's going to say cry easily, because Cancer definitely cries easy. Scorpio not so much. Scorpio will basically swallow their tears so that nobody can see them. But the Queen of Pentacles with these here, with these other cards here, it's what I said at the beginning about being grounded. Your person comes across as grounded. They come across as providing, as emotional, as receptive, as being good at working with other people, but also not actually taking any crap from people. You wouldn't push them too far, because they definitely, Cancer sort of feel just bites back. Scorpio will keep quiet and will keep quiet, and then they will eat you. So that's the feeling I'm getting from your person. Very maternal or paternal, but with their very strong boundaries there that don't push them too far. They're the type of person that's always there. Now let's see the way they come across in everyday life, how they flirt. Right, your Mars sign to me is, I can remember reading a study years and years ago about your Mars, and they had, I think I've mentioned this before as well, there was a study where they put, I think it was like sweets on a table in some sort of conference, or some cakes or something, and everybody went to grab them, and I think they had their Mars signs on pieces of paper and knew what they were. And the Aries Mars just went straight and grabbed it. The Taurus Mars basically went in slowly and grabbed 4. And the Cancer Mars circled the table, 6 times. So this is how you get things. So this is, when you want something, how you get it, whether you're just obvious and go and grab it. And I thought this would lead in quite well to how they actually flirt. So your person's coming across as the Page of Wands and Sagittarius. So the way that they flirt is not really the same as the way that they come across. They come across as being very maternal, probably very slow with their speech, probably very gentle with their speech, maybe very gentle with their movements, but quite defensive if need be. But when they want something, that goes out the window. So you might know your person by in their job coming across like this, but when they flirt, they are... Sorry. Just think it's Sagittarius flirting here. When Sagittarius flirts, it really is something to behold. It's obvious to the extreme, it's straightforward, and it can very possibly be quite crude. They're not, a bit like Taurus, they're not one to wonder whether it's going to fit in the conversation or not. They're saying and they want to make you laugh, and they're going to say what they want to say. The Page of Wands also makes me think of fire. It makes me think of being childish and fun. So this person's flirting style is totally different from the way they are in everyday life. They may be a parent, they may be older than you. You may think that there's some sort of respect that you need to give to this person until they start flirting. So when they flirt, they are straightforward, they are sexual, and they can be quite crude. In the best possible way, of course, in the funniest possible way. They are like horses, they like to play. It's the type of person that falls into a party and just, everybody's laughing and everybody wants to be with them, and then they let their affections be known. Sagittarius and the Page of Wands is somebody, to me, who whistles out of a car at somebody. They're not shy. They will let you, if they like you, they don't see any harm in letting you know, which is quite nice. They've got nothing to hide, and they think flirting should be fun and it should lead to sex, and it's just straightforward as that. So this is how this person goes after something: direct and obvious and basic, in the best possible way. Basic. If they want to sleep with you, if they want to have sex with you, they're going to tell you. If you look good, they're going to tell you. Different signs and different energies do things differently. So it's not going to be the energy where they will think, oh my gosh, if I reveal too much of myself, then it's going to make me really vulnerable. Sagittarius won't care. They would care more about not being in the moment and not telling you if they thought you were attractive than wondering whether they were more vulnerable. So it's playful, Page of Wands, it's fun, it's youthful, it's obvious, it's straightforward. It is horseplay. They will want to joke with you. They will want to kid around with you. It's a type of person that would drive you wild because they play some horrendous practical joke on you. It's a type of person when you say if you're in university and you go into your bedroom and they've been in before you, and they will have wrapped toilet roll all the way around your bed and your wardrobe and stuff. And it's that type of feel. If that's what you like, that's probably that's what it means to me anyway. But the fifth house as well gives me a little bit more an inkling on how they play. It's how they are in love relationships right at the beginning. Not so much a long-term relationship. And this is quite different from the way that they come across. You've got Virgo here. So they go after what they want. They're straightforward. They like horseplay. They're very sexual. And to marry with Virgo would mean, how could you fit those together? The only thing I can think with Virgo is, I used to know a Virgo man who, I don't think he was all Virgo, but he definitely was quite strong in it. And he used to fold all his clothes in his cupboard. His cupboard was open so you could see it. And they were just neatly folded. You know, the type of person that irons their underpants. So I wonder, this is what a feeling I'm getting, because the Sagittarius is somebody who goes gung-ho and has this impression that they are actually straightforward. But with a Virgo here, I wonder if there's that, because those two, Virgo and Sagittarius together, can be somebody who's quite detailed but outspoken, and can also, I think from the people I know with this sort of energy, and the Seven of Swords with it as well, can be, it's a slight sort of twist to this one. It makes me think that this person can also be a little bit cutting in some way, because Virgo is very detail orientated with the Seven of Swords. Makes me think that it's almost they're doing something, they're aware of it but they're not aware of it. Because the Sagittarius and the Virgo, they're the type of people that insult people because they're very perceptive and they're very good at grabbing hold of detail, that they could say things out of place at times that could leave you thinking, what on earth was that? That's the feeling I'm getting. So if you know somebody around you who's very caring, very loving, very responsible, holds down a position maybe older than you, holds down some sort of position that's recognised in some way, seems very sensible, may work with lots of people, but is slightly defensive, and then is a real mixture of, when they want something, being really assertive and obvious, and they're not afraid to compliment, they're not afraid to make you feel good, because Sagittarius doesn't lose anything by giving out. They have a lot of energy, and it's almost like is the word indispensable? No, that's not the word. It's like a never-ending energy that they're pulling it from somewhere else rather than feeling depleted once they give out. So that's the feeling this whole row makes me think of a business person. It makes me think of somebody who's like the head of a business, somebody, because Cancer's very business orientated. You've got Virgo there, so they're good with details. Sagittarius as well is very direct, and they're quite competitive. So this is making me think of some business person, and when they're flirting with you, you know it. They're not going to hide it. But I often wonder whether they've actually insulted you in the middle of flirting. But they've said something, you think, Jesus, where did that come from? That's the feeling I'm getting from them. Let's have a little look at you. You're coming across as caution. So I wonder whether you're quite timid when you like somebody. It gives me the impression that you're somebody who either holds back and waits to see how they feel. I'm going to see how this develops as it goes on. It makes me think of somebody who holds back and waits to see how the relationship develops before they start giving bits out themselves. So you've come across as Juno and the King of Pentacles, as this is their first impression of you. You could be married, you could be mature yourself, you could be just somebody who is... Juno and the King of Pentacles makes me think there's a mature attitude to relationships. I haven't looked at how you flirt yet, so I'm just going to go through bit by bit and try and sum it all together. So I think that you come across as you may be already in a relationship, because Juno is partnerships, King of Pentacles, especially with this card, looks as if he's a home bird, or somebody who is quite, he or she is just somebody who has a rich home life, is not really looking for anything unless it's going to fit in with what he actually wants. There's not a flirty quality about this to begin with, and this is your first impressions. So I would say you come across as being controlled and quite reserved and shy to begin with. If you are shy, you'll know by when I said the word shy, it makes you feel sick, because I hate that. When somebody says you're shy, oh no! So if you are shy, you'll know whether you are, because that will make you feel awful. If you're not shy, you'll be like, oh yeah, I am shy, I like it. So That's the way that you come across. Yeah, more of the same actually. I think that you are quite a steady mover. You've got Capricorn here and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. Capricorn won't put its energy into something he doesn't think is actually going to come to fruition at the end with something that they need or they want, which seems quite cold, but it's just the way it is and it works really well. Everybody plays their part and this is exactly, what you do, possibly. Seven of Pentacles, it's the same thing. It's basically dipping in bits, working towards something and then seeing what happens at the end. So I think that you are a stepper in the fact that you calculate, which is a cold word that isn't meaning anything to me. So it's just you calculate what you want from this person. I just said calculate because I Capricorn, I know I did. And then you actually wonder whether it's going to be worth putting in your time and effort. You may not have Capricorn in there, and calculate, I don't think to me isn't negative, but I think it's definitely somebody with a Capricorn energy, with a Seven of Pentacles energy, actually does. I mean, it could be Virgo energy, where it's not so much thinking what you're going to get at the end because they just give anyway. But it's, Capricorn isn't another business card. You often get them in business because they see the end result and they know how to get there and they're prepared to put the effort in. And with the King of Pentacles and Juno relationship based here and caution, to me, how you come across is very similar to them. They're more sort of caring, more emotional, and you're more possibly, I'm going to say timid, but I mean probably that you don't want to give too much until you know that it's safe. That may be timid, I don't know. Timid has negative connotations, but that's what I'm getting. How do you flirt? Right, so your person is coming across as all out, playful, rude and crude, and obvious and complimentary and sexual. So that's great. So you're coming across as Venus and Page of Swords. So I think that you can match this person with the fun. You can match this person with a playful attitude. I think you're probably really good with your words. I think you're very good at verbal flirting, very good at banter, very good at give and take. I think it's something you probably enjoy. They're more sexual with their energy, so I don't think they're quite as good with the quick witty replies. It might be just something that you're just good at. But I think that you are somebody who is also, as well as being quite good with your words, you may have this sort of laid-back beauty or this laid-back handsomeness about you, which is the wry smile, and I know I'm good looking, which is Venus here and the Page of Swords. It makes me think of somebody who's youthful and cute. There's that cute feel about you. I'm thinking Marilyn Monroe when I'm saying this because I know that she's Gemini. And I know that she was just very attractive. She was quite intellectual and I think she liked to read a lot, but she was also beauty personified, wasn't she really? So your energies together are probably Venus and Sagittarius. Now this person probably finds you extremely attractive with your Venus here, and I think they enjoy the fun and the getting together. I wonder whether you actually might enjoy the horseplay and the silly games. I mean silly as in good silly. Sagittarius. I think your person is more assertive than you. I think you almost are one of those sort of magnetic people. It's more like come to me sort of feels that you're standing there, this person will come straight into the room, will come straight to you, will spot you out, and will tell you how good you're looking, and then do something silly. And you're probably just standing there waiting for it. You probably have your eye on them, but you are just waiting to play. You are waiting for some sort of communication where you can play with your words. And this person's just thinking, let's shut up and let's just get it together. I'm assuming because Sagittarius here is fire and Page of Wands is fire. Right, how playful are you when you start off your relationship? Oh my gosh. Okay, you've got Eros here, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. So I think that you fall in love fast. And I think that even though you fall in love fast, you know, it's You love new beginnings. You love to fall in love. You probably are maybe quite romantic in the things that you watch on TV, the songs that you listen to. But there's something about love that makes you burn. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles here. You love starting new relationships. You love just the whole process of finding somebody new, having that butterfly feeling, those first meetings. You know, you live for that type of thing. So you could get on really well with this person because they're very Sagittarius as well. I wonder whether you'd be looking, no, perhaps not. No, perhaps not. I was going to say something about commitment there, but it just seems quite equal here. Right then. So when you two get together, right, reminding you that you've got Eros here representing your 5th house and Ace of Pentacles. So this is solid, I'm going to say nurturing the situation. But it's also, Eros is very sort of, it's like being hit in the head. It's like when you walk into a room, somebody takes your breath away, and that's what you live for. You know, that's the type of thing that you live for. It's the type of book that you might choose. You may like sort of novels that, you know, when people fall in love. And it's the kind of thing that you feel like you're born for. And here you've got, when you get together, you've got Princess of Cups, the Sun, and the Ace of Wands. So to me, your energies together are flirting, fun, happiness, childlike love. You know, it's just like open and it's cute. And the Sun is obvious. There's no hiding. There's no game playing. It's just there, and you both fancy each other. Ace of Wands is very sexual as well. So it's childlike, it's flirty, it's fun, it's obvious, there's nothing to hide, and it's sexual. So when you get together, this is a really nice pile. So when you get together, there's definitely some feeling of connection, some sexual tension, but it's not hidden. It's not hidden at all. Right, I'm going to sum this up. So your person is coming across as somebody very grounded, very solid, with a defensive edge. They could be very emotional, but they're the type of person that is there when you need them. When they flirt, they are direct. They are sexual, and they don't beat around the bush. They are possibly can be quite hurtful in the things that they say, but they're very good at noticing small things about you. They may comment on something to do with your dress or with your hair, and they will say it straight away. There's no feeling of you taking too much energy from them by them complimenting you. There's no feeling of, gosh, if I let them know that I like them towards you, then they're going to fit. They could use it against me. If anything, the only negative thing I pick from this person's energy is the fact they could possibly, without even knowing it, insult you ever so slightly, every now and then. And Sagittarius can be quite like that. They tend to put their foot in it without it. They have no idea, and they walk off, and you think, oh my God, what was that? Page of Wands is playful and it's fun. So you've got this as well in your energy. So when you're flirting, you're the type of person who's quite magnetic. You're coming across as Venus, which is a little bit more receptive, and you're going to pull this person towards you rather than you making the movement towards them. There's going to be the flirting, there's going to be the fun, and I think you like the give and take of the banter here. They're more sexual, they're more horseplay, but you love every second of it. You love falling in love. It's like the Eight of Wands here, Eros. You just like the feeling of falling in love. You like the attraction. You like the initial movement of what the possibilities. And you're quite prepared to put the effort in to maintain that feeling. Because the Ace of Pentacles here, somebody who works hard at new beginnings. It makes me feel that you are really happy because you want to keep this energy going. You're the type of person who wants to turn up to the second date and the third date and still feel excited. So you're both got energies together, fit really well. There's excitement and there's passion, there's fun. And in these cards here, I know I've just said it, so I'm not going to say it again. Just tell me the same. It's like fun. It's a childlike feel about this. Definitely, without doubt, there's a childlike openness about both of you. You're not afraid to show if you're sexually attracted. More so your partner or the person you have in mind is not afraid to show that they're attracted to you. They are definitely the type of person that just says it. There's like innocent playing here. I bet if you two are in a room, people will be very aware of the attraction between the pair of you, because you two come across as quite grounded in everyday life. So I don't know what your jobs are, and I wonder whether you're a little bit more reserved than this other person. But I think once you get together, it would be horrendously obvious, and people would know from the way you turn up in everyday life to what's happening between you, because there's a pull here between the pair of you, and you're both very similar. It's very open and very sexual. So if this is like a work situation or some situation where people don't know that you're together, I think you two would find it really hard to hide it. Okay, pile number 1, I'm going to finish there. I hope that helps in some way. I hope it makes sense in some way, because you're both a very steady mixture of being very similar, of excitement of falling in love, of horseplay, of just playing around, of banter. It's just fun. It's just a fun pile. And when you get together, I think it probably is just exciting and fun, and you're prepared to put the effort in to make sure that that's maintained. So pile number 1, I hope that helps in some way. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye. Okay. Hi there, pile number 2. We're going to have to go through this bit by bit because it's too much to take in at once. You've got the ascendant here and you've got the sun here. So this is your person's line here. So I've used those two to try and give me an impression of how they come across when they're not flirting. How people perceive them straight off, initial sort of perceptions, and then how they are in the core. And then this is more here, how they flirt, just to see if there's a difference, whether you recognise the person. And here's the same for you. And in the end, these cards here are how you two basically come together. So what are your energies mixed together? So let's go with your person first. Your person's coming across as the Page of Pentacles. So it's quite a youthful air about it. And this little fox has got a mask on, like a butterfly mask, which makes me think that this person with the Page of Pentacles, because it's symmetrical, likes things quite ordered and organised. They may be known as, because Virgo is aware, and the fact that the mask on here, they may be renowned or known for being very good looking. Virgo to me is normally, especially on the ascendant, is normally one of those signs that are really good looking. Everything is symmetrical. Yeah, that's what I wonder whether your person is quite known within your group of people or within whatever group that they are in as being the good looking one of that group. They have a youthful sort of air about them. They look younger than their years. They put their clothes together really well, and they always look as if they smell of soap. They just look clean, and they just look good. They tend to have really lovely shaped faces and just generally just be good looking. Right, but your person as well also comes across as having Neptune on the ascendant and the Seven of Cups. These are both Neptune. At a point of interest, it would be really interesting to know the two people that I know with Neptune on the ascendant. Both of them were born. One said to me, she said, I was born in a gush of water. She was laughing her head off while she was saying it, but she was saying that the room where she was born, not maternity room, I don't know what it's called, was basically they were swimming around in it. So Neptune has that lost look about them. They're quite floaty, they're quite dreamy, they're really good at art, they're really good at putting concepts together to do with... No, actually, they're really good at putting things together which are conceptual. They're very good at it's like a movie director. It's like somebody who can see a vision and then brings it into reality in some way, especially with this earth inside them. And they're also as well, especially on the ascendant, they tend to have really pretty soulful eyes. And with Neptune or Pisces on the ascendant, you can see in their eyes are watery, and it's almost as if you want to look after them because there's a sort of vulnerability in them. But these two together are somebody who's really attractive, who attracts people to them and probably doesn't even know why. Because the Virgo here with the, it might not be Virgo, the Page of Pentacles. Why am I thinking Virgo? I don't know. Maybe they are Virgo. So to have Pisces on your ascendant in Virgo, that can really alter. Okay. But there's a dreamy quality about them, and they're probably the type of person that appears quite grounded, but then is not as grounded as they appear initially, because they're probably indecisive. They probably can't stick to things, possibly, in the way they may come across as a little bit sort of shifty. Attractive, very attractive, but almost shifty, that you can't pin them down. Which makes me think of this mask here as well on the face. You know, poor butterflies, and we pinned, aren't they, down to things in museums and stuff. I don't think this person is easy to pin down. But I do think from initial impressions they are extremely attractive. Right, I think as well the core of this person is actually quite different from the way that they appear initially. I think your person is probably quite hardworking and quite basic. They may be dreamy looking, and they may have lots of people attracted to them, but I don't think these people around them know that they need some sort of equilibrium in their life. They're not immediately as playful as they seem. They possibly need some sort of concrete plan in their life, and they like to have quite a basic... To me, this speaks of somebody, I'm just going to say what I'm thinking here, because I know it's only going to apply to a few people, but just take the energy or the feel of it if you can. It speaks of somebody who's happily married, or in a marriage where they're quite content. Even if they're not happy, they're quite, actually they might not be happy, quite content with the grounding that marriage gives them. They like the family, they like the title. They like the thought of being married. They like the thought of being not established, because marriage isn't established. It's traditional. Traditional is the word I'm looking for. But I wonder whether you get that initially, because this person comes across as being extremely airy, fairy, and almost whimsical in some way. But there's the grounding, there's attractiveness there, but I think deep down they are quite traditional. These two don't mix well, and I think I can almost feel this. It's the type of person that you think is one thing, but is actually not. I'm going to say something which is really rude. I was going to say that they're the type of person that feels like you could have lots of fun with, because this Neptune here makes them appear like, you know, like just a fun, well, they probably are fun and creative and flexible and good looking. And then when you get to know them, actually they're quite a little bit more, I'm not rude, they're actually more down to earth than you would possibly have imagined. They like stability and they like structure, and you don't get that initially. Right, I'm going to leave that there. How they flirt. This person is a mixture of, the way that they come forward to people is a mixture of, I think initially of being quite forward, and then you get this idea, this party sort of, yeah, I like a drink, yes, I can meet you at a party, yes, it'd be fun. But when they get there, I wonder whether they just do a lot of watching. Aquarius to me, with Mars, so Mars is the way that you get things. It's the way that your drive, and when this is frustrated, it can blow in your life. If your Mars is blocked, it's incredibly hard to deal with. Now, this person's Mars is coming across as the Knight of Wands. So this person possibly is quite outgoing and quite forward, quite ambitious, fun, exciting, and makes things happen. But with Aquarius, to me, I'm going to say, I always stop myself because I wonder what's appropriate to say on YouTube. But to me, it's the type of person that goes to an orgy and makes notes. That's the feeling I'm getting with the King of Wands here. It's sexual, it's ambitious, it's forward thinking, it's forward moving. And Aquarius is so detached. They're the type of person that starts off something really big and then just sits making notes and enjoying what they've started. So I'm going to leave that there because that may not be appropriate. But fifth of house as well, Libra. So the way that they look at love relationships is they like the thought of falling in love. Libra in love relationships, they like a relationship, and it more, I would say definitely more a one-to-one relationship, but they don't mind working in groups. With the Four of Swords here as well, which goes with the Aquarius card, and then Mars in their 5th house, so the way that they approach relationships, I think, is confusing. I think they push for relationship, because the Wands and the Fire Signs, they push for things. You know, that's just the energy that they have, and that's, you know, basically how they get things started, and they make it exciting and they make it fun for everybody else. So I think this person pushes for things, wants a one-to-one relationship, and then pulls back. Because you've got Aquarius and you've got the Four of Swords here. So the drive for a relationship is strong. So they push themselves into it, and then I think they pull back. I think they basically find it difficult with the amount of contact that they want. I think they want life to be exciting. I think that they fall in love, but I think they also need their space. So this person is confusing flirty. This person is sexual. This person is relationship based, but then they pull out and then they become detached and they become aloof and they almost just go home and shut off for a few days, possibly. So you've got a person here who's extremely attractive. You've got somebody who gives the impression of being quite slippery in the fact they can't make decisions. They maybe have two or three people on the go. Not saying there are 2 and 3 people on the go, but they won't make the choice. They will want somebody else to make the choice for them, but they come across a bit sort of shifty in the fact that you think actually they're quite practical. Actually, they are quite practical. This person comes across as being different from the way that they are, and although the Page of Pentacles here is like Earth and Saturn here is Earth, so you may get an inkling that they like things to be stable, they like things to be structured, they like their life to be almost quite organised in some way. That is true. I'm wondering whether your person's married. With Saturn the Justice card here, I wonder whether your person's in a relationship that you're asking about. Just a thought. If it's not a relationship, they could just possibly like things. With a Libra card here in the 5th house, they like things to be equal. They like things to be fair, which is very Aquarius too. So I'm going to leave that there for the moment, and then we'll sort of pull them together at the end. You're coming across here as I'm going to say fateful, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You've got Judgment here with the polar bear coming out of the water, which makes me think of somebody, and this makes me think it's transient as well, that it's not something that's moving in your life and is actual you. And I don't know why I'm saying that. Yes, I do know why I'm saying that. It's the Wheel card. You're coming across as somebody who at this particular moment in your life, your personality may have shifted a bit. Because the Wheel talks to me of something that's moving, and then you're at a different stage in your life. And to me, this coming across as your ascendant, it's maybe something big in your life that's made your personality change. You're coming across as quite nurturing with, is it Sorel? I don't know how to pronounce them. It has a sort of mother feel about it, somebody who helps you. Ceres is a really funny asteroid, because it definitely makes me think of motherhood, because I think it was stuck on my 5th house sun when I had my kids. So to me, it's like some sort of rebirth. With Judgment, the Wheel, which is fateful, and with Ceres, it's as if you are basically coming out of some situation as a different person than you were before the situation started. I don't quite know what I mean by that, but that feels quite strong to me. You see these cards. I think your personality and the way that you come across to people has changed recently, and so you are coming across as a very different person. It gives me the feel of somebody who has been through something and has decided that they're not taking the bits that they've taken in their life before. I wonder whether you were softer, more vulnerable, and then something has happened in your life within the last month or year or two, and you have decided that's enough. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be who I want to be, rather than trying to people please people. People please people. That's the feeling I'm getting. I'm going to go back to that. That's quite a strong feeling there. I'm going to leave it for now. I think deep down though, I think you're somebody who takes the high road. You're somebody who's quite spiritual, and I think you're very good at nurturing people. You've got Ceres here, and you've got, I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, the Ten of Cups. So you probably either have a strong bind with your family, or you are a family person also, and you may have kids, Ten of Cups possibly, or you're just somebody who is emotionally fulfilled and gives to people. I wonder, to me, wasn't what I was looking for, and I haven't even got to the flirty bit yet because this bit's blown me a bit. You give me the impression that you have made real shifts in your life recently, and for the better, because you're moving from the Judgment into Jupiter, and the Jupiter is like somebody who makes decisions that are not just best for themselves, but they always take the high road for everybody else too. And with the Ten of Cups, makes me think as if you've somehow got control of your emotions and know how to use them with people around you in the best possible way. It's like some sort of awakening. I'm not supposed to be looking at this at the moment, but that's just intriguing me. I will go back to that probably when I sum it all up. Let's get a little bit more light-hearted and on to how you flirt. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, you are a strategic, soft flirter. You are somebody who, we were talking in the pile before about some experiment that I read about years ago, when there's a table full of sweets or chocolates or cakes or something, and all these people, the Mars sign here, this is what goes down here, all these people have to go and choose to grab or get a sweet or chocolate or something. So the Mars is how you get things, and then the Aries person went straight up and got it. And I said earlier in the other pile, the Taurus person went straight up and got 6. The Cancer person, which is what you're coming across, is somebody who circles around the table a couple of times and stuffs one in their pocket without anybody seeing. You're quite secretive, you're quite gentle, you're quite, Ceres here, you're quite nurturing and mothering or fathering, no such word. There's something about you that's soft and soft-spoken and gentle, and you almost do it in a roundabout fashion. If you're flirting, you're the type of person that will make sure you accidentally turn up at the right place at the right time. You may not let them know directly that you're attracted to them. But I think with the Nine of Cups here, you have that look on your face like, I used to say this because I've got Cancer Mars as well. And my worst nightmare was letting somebody know that you like them. And I used to say to this person, because I used to work in a place with lifts, and there used to be a person there I liked. And I used to say, imagine if you actually purred when you're with people that you liked. How horrendous would that be, that you're in the lift with this person and you started purring? You give me the impression of somebody that may purr when you're next to them, but that's the only way that they're going to know that you like them. Nine of Cups is that happiness, is that smug look on your face. And Cancer is that feeling of moving slowly and softly. So your person, I think, is quite naughty in the fact that they are quite flirty and they will push for situations to start. And with Aquarius here, which is quite rebellious, they will get the flirting or the attraction between you going. They will almost goad you, it gives me impression, into, if they can sense that you like them, they will want to play with it. They will goad you into having a bit of fun, and you'll be like, I'm just getting an impression of somebody with a big smile on their face, just like, oh my God, this is fun, but I don't know what to do next. And then it's fun, it's exciting, and then with Aquarius there, it's almost as if they go quite after us and you're wondering what on earth went on there. You know, you've got a really sweet way of relating, and it's very genuine, and your person is naughty in the fact that with these cards here, that they are forthright, forceful, and then you think, oh my God, they must, we've got something going here, there must be a connection. Then Aquarius are like, oh my God, where's it gone? So this could be quite confusing to you. Right, 5th house, you've got Eros and you've got the 3 of Cups. So you're coming across really sweet in this. You're coming across as a real sweetheart, really. You've got Eros. The way that you fall in love, 5th house is when relationships initially start kicking off. What do you like? You fall in love completely. Eros here is basically blinded by love. You're the type of person that just goes all out. The Three of Cups to me is also, it's relating, it's being friendly, it's being open. I didn't like to say, because we talked about, and no, I'm not going to go into that. If you remember what I said about this card and the Three of Cups, you can possibly link that together yourself. Because there's more than two people involved. So I'm not saying it's relationship based, I'm thinking more party based there. So you can actually be quite open as well to different ways of relating, putting that in a nice way. But I do think that your energy here is soft, it's sweet, it's kind, and it's almost as if you're the sweet kid that goes and stands next to the naughty person in school, and the teacher like, no, don't put them together, don't put them together. And then it's too late because you're both falling for each other, or you're both playing at the back of the class, that sort of thing. This person will instigate it. Your partner is probably more forceful and probably more rebellious. They do have an edge to them. But I think they really enjoy the way that you relate. They like, with Libra here, they like your softness. They like the way that you can communicate well and that you talk, and they feel as if it's got that feeling of a real sort of sweet, lovey-dovey feeling about it. But I think that I would say that you're the one that is going through some sort of change, and the way that you relate. You know, if you have gone through some sort of change where you're not taking things from other people that you used to in the past, I don't think this relates to the way that you flirt. Because I think you fall in love still hard. And I think you give everything. And I'm not saying your person doesn't do that, because I don't get that impression whatsoever. Because I think that the way that they flirt is very open and they're very good at it. They're very charming. They're very good at relating. They're very good at saying the right things at the right time. They look good. They've got Libra and his Page of Pentacles and the Butterfly and the Neptune. I think basically it's a type of person that is really good looking and may have lots of people after them. But I think the bit that would confuse you is the bit with the air here where they relate and then cut off. Relate and then cut off. So let's have a look at how you two dwell together. I said how you lot because you threw your cups here and what I said earlier about that. Oh my God. Right. See, this makes me think of you. I think that you are more gentle in the way that you relate and the way that you come together. And I think that you have possibly been hurt in the past, and I don't know if it's got anything to do with this person. It's almost as if you're in despair, and at the moment you're trying to control your feelings towards this person. I think this person possibly is more playful than you and more detached than you, and I wonder whether, and not playful in a that you're not playful, but I think that they play with emotions more than you do, and if you have got that softness inside you, it can be quite hurtful at times, and you're almost looking out to see the next move. So the way that they flirt is probably forthright and then pulling back, which confuses you, because I think that you are basically one speed with flirting. I think, you're there, you're genuine, you're offering your heart to this person, you love falling in love, you're very open to different situations, you're very open to, I was going to say open relationships, I don't know why I keep going back to that. I'm not going to go there, but that could be something. If I keep wanting to say it, there must be a reason. There's a huge change that's gone on inside you. Don't change who you are, because your energy comes across beautifully. It's really as if you've worked on yourself. I'm going away from flirting here. It's as if you've worked on yourself and you've gone through changes and you've come out with Jupiter here, a big person. You're expansive and you basically know how to give to people without feeling that you're giving too much away, but you'll still put yourself on the line and you still make yourself vulnerable. So I think you're coming across as a stronger person here because you're genuine and you're open and you're kind. Your person here is coming across as almost a little bit younger than you, because they've got the Page of Pentacles, you've got Judgment here. You've lived your life and you've learnt from it and you're coming back out a bit like a phoenix. They've got the Page of Pentacles here where they are changing and trying to change and move. They're probably looking at you for cues on how to behave. But with Neptune here, they're probably very receptive to the way that you are and the way that you communicate with them. But I wonder with Saturn here whether it's something they struggle with. I wonder whether they're more materialistic than you. They need to have to establish this, establish that, and a bit of money behind them. Perhaps if they're married, they may need to have just that title of being married. So let's go back to the question. So how do they flirt compared to how you flirt? You are gentle, you are open, you are giving, and you basically are what you are, and you don't care anymore, because I think that you have moved forward with trying to please people or be something that you're not. You have big Jupiter energy here. You're wise, you know what's going on in life, and you take the high road. Your person as well comes across as working on themselves, but not quite getting to the stage that you have, and they flirt in a different way. They are push and pull. They're push and pull, they're charming, they're attractive. They are probably extremely good with words. They've got Aquarius and Libra. They're very good at communicating. They can make you laugh. They can make you smile. They can put words together. They're witty and to make the conversation and the communication fun, which you probably really enjoy. There's a feisty side to them, and then I think once they've ticked things off, it's almost as if they pull back, and it's nothing to do with you. It's just the way they are. It's just the way they are. I wonder whether they think that they've given too much and then basically need a few days on their own to recoup. Right, pile number 2. I hope I haven't insulted anybody there. I often wonder what comes out of my mouth. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that makes sense in some way. Your energy is beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Sweet, thoughtful, kind and gentle and giving, but with a really caring feel about it that is just expansive. And your person's energy is harder, I think. It's more focused on material things, and it almost must find it difficult with the Neptune, and maybe that's what the mask is about. Maybe they find it they find it difficult, I think, of marrying the different parts of themselves together, more so than you have, because I think you've just basically got to the top of that mountain and come down the other side victorious. And there, I think, in the process, you might recognise it in them of still playing with it, of also marrying them, but they're maybe ambitious. They may, as I said before, just like a conventional lifestyle, and it suits them and it's exactly what they want. But there's something shifting in this person with this mask and with this Neptune, the 7 of Cups, and I wonder whether they don't seem here, the way that they flirt, to be as easy themselves as you are, because it maybe just they'll be like that for the rest of their life. There's different energies in them. Fun-loving, pushy, enjoying, and then detached. But they're really good at it because they look good, they flirt well. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I hope I haven't ranted too much. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Okay, hi there, pile number 3. I've got to go through this slowly with you because there's quite a few cards. This is your person, basically how they come across in everyday life, and this bit here is how they flirt, basically. This is you. This is how you come across in everyday life to people who you're not attracted to, probably, or possibly, and this is how you flirt, and this is your energy when you come together with this person. Right, I'm going to have to go through bit by bit and then pull it all together as it goes along because it's too much otherwise. Your person, on initial appearances or first contact, is somebody, I think, who is charming and giving, but in a detached way. There's somebody who's probably very friendly. Aquarius is very friendly. They're very open. They're quite different, but with the Knight of Cups here as well, I think that they are... Okay, I'm getting this feeling that this person comes across as somebody who is friendly and loving and open, and I wonder whether you're wondering whether they're like that with everybody else. That's a feeling with Aquarius, who is naturally friendly and open. With the King of Cups, it's almost as if that makes it more personal, because this guy here has this, is it like roses in his hand that he's offering. Right, you've also got here the Nine of Wands, so there's almost a slight detached feel not detached, a slight protective feel about this person. So these are unusual cards to get together. Let me have a think. So on first impressions, your person comes across as being detached and a little bit sort of reserved, in the fact they're keeping something close to their chest. There's something they don't want to express, although they're very friendly. You probably get loving feelings from this person, but I wonder whether they're just like that with everybody. There's an air of warmth, but as if you can't get really that close to them, and you're wondering whether they're like that with everybody. Somebody who's friendly and open and giving in general. So I think that's what everybody picks them up as, and I wonder whether with those cards together make me think that you may wonder about that, whether you feel special to this person, because I wonder whether they're just very friendly and very giving, but they almost give on a surface level. With the Nine of Wands there, it makes me think that you may pick up that they are giving to everybody, but they're holding a bit back. It may just apply to you in the way that you feel, or whether that's a personality trait that they have. Right. Deep down to the core, they are somebody who's they are somebody who has a big personality and a big heart. They're Sagittarius, Ten of Cups. They give in big ways. They give to groups, and they give emotionally. So to me, the Ten of Cups as well, with these kids here as well, and the Sagittarius is somebody who possibly could work in charities, who just gives to a large group of people, possibly gives to children in some way. This has a feeling of like, with the kids in Sagittarius, like a charity work, I just said, or a secondary school teacher. Sagittarius tend to be secondary rather than like Gemini or Virgo, that tend to be just generally, and a Virgo, they both run all the way through, but Sagittarius definitely secondary. So deep down, your person is just generally a really good, nice, giving, loving person. They're probably very content in themselves. They probably just get on with things. They're not the type of person who dwells in self-pity. They just feel as if they're... Is it cup half filled or full? Yeah, the cup is full. They just feel like they've got everything. They don't ask for much, they don't want much, they just are happy where they are. They're probably playful and fun and giving. If this is a family person, they're probably very good at giving to the kids in their family and playing with their kids rather than just letting the kids sit in front of screens. They probably get out with them and do stuff with them. Active and involved and thinks on a large scale. So your person generally as a whole is giving, caring, friendly, fun, but I think that I wonder whether it's personal, that you feel as if there's a little line that you can't get across with them, because you possibly, if you're attracted to them, you may want more from them. And you wonder, because the Aquarius and Sagittarius, they give on they're more general than personal. And you always wonder whether you're special to them. Right, how do they come across when they're flirting? As I said in the earlier piles, the Mars is the way that you get things. I talked about an experiment where they had cakes or sweets on a table and everybody was assessed by their Mars sign and how they picked up what was on the table. And I said that the Aries went up and grabbed the first one, Taurus went up and grabbed 6, Gemini probably laughed all the way to doing it and then juggled them and I don't know what, and Cancer skirted around the table 10 times before they stuffed them in the pocket. Virgo probably went up and cleaned them. Leo probably strutted up, and I don't know, you know what I mean. So your Mars is basically how you get things that you need in your life, and when this is blocked it can cause problems. So let's see how this person flirts. They flirt the way that they actually are. They are strong, they are forceful, and they don't hide. They are in your face, they are complimentary, they are larger than life, they are playful, and they are fun. They're sexual. They're probably that type of person that comes into the room, and the way that they're standing makes you feel attracted to them. They don't hide their feelings. The Strength card to me, I'm going to take as more Leo than actually trying to hide your feelings, because with Jupiter, those two together just make me think Leo and Jupiter. They have pride and they would not like to be put down in public. They're not afraid to flirt. They're probably extremely good at it. If they're not a little bit obvious at times, they may laugh too loudly. They may be too much horseplay. They won't hide it. If you two like each other and you flirt with this person, the rest of the room would know it. Now, how they fall in love. So the fifth house is basically how they relate to how they fall in love, and there are thoughts about that. So you've got Virgo and the King of Cups. So it's marrying these energies together. So Virgo and the way that they approach love relationships is, with the rest of the cards, it's got to be giving. King of Cups and Virgo is just giving. This person has a really kind, giving energy about it. I think with the King of Cups and Jupiter and Strength here, that they are a big person in the fact that they're not petty. They will let you know when they're attracted to you. There will be huge declarations of love, but there will be pride behind it, where this person will not be wanted to, or will not want to be ridiculed in public. So if you ever cheat on them, I think that would be the end of it. Although Jupiter might actually want to join in, I think the Leo in them would probably think that's the end of it. I think your person comes across as very genuine, very kind, very genuine, but I think they keep a little bit back for themselves, because you've got the Nine of Wands right at the beginning here, and then Virgo at the end with love relationships. So I think that they are naturally friendly and open and expansive and direct, and they don't hide anything. But there's also with Virgo and this Nine of Wands, there's a tiny bit back they just keep back to themselves, and it's not as if they've got anything to hide. I just think with the Aquarius as well, that they need that little bit of time on their own. So, if that is the personality that you think that you're attracted to, then this is the right person for you. You're coming across as, funny how this card repeats themselves, very similar to the last pile. You're coming across as somebody at this particular time, which I picked up with with both two piles before. Somebody who's not really sure what they want, indecisive, and not really sure what they want at the moment. As if you've got your antennae out and you're looking, but you're not sure what you've got and what you want at the end of it. I think that you are somebody who appears a little bit more dreamy than you actually are. The only way I can relate to these sort of energies that I pick up is relating it to people that I've met in my life. I used to know a girl who was really good looking, really well put together, very gentle and really nice girl. And she spoke softly and she did pottery. She was really artistic and had that impression of being a really sweet woman. She's a woman now, she was a girl when I met her, who is very arty and kind and really gently spoken, and she just had that sweet face. But then she was really assertive. When she needed to do something, she would just get in her car and she would drive half around the world on her own. So that's the type of feeling I'm getting from you, that you come across as soft and sweet and indecisive, and maybe a little bit shy, or maybe people may wonder whether you need a little bit. I think Five of Pentacles. You may feel like you don't fit in, so people may wonder why you haven't got more self-confidence, because you just come across as beautiful and kind and sweet. But deep down, I think that you are quite hard on yourself, and I think you're quite tough deep down. Just as I said about this woman, she's beautiful and sweet and kind. So I think your energy that you give off is different from you. I think you are quite strong deep down. You've got like a bit of metal inside you which keeps you going. I think you're very, I'm going to say bright here, bright and very clever in the way that you function in life. And I think that you're very determined and very much as in seen it before, done it before, and I know how it works. But I don't think people pick that up from initial impressions of you. Right, let's just get on to how you flirt. Now, your person's coming across as a huge flirt, as somebody who is obvious, expansive and proud and regal and sexual. You're coming across exactly the same, but in a more subversive isn't the word I'm looking for. Pluto is somebody, if it's in somebody and it's strong, it's something that can feel overwhelming at times. It can make you feel as if this is the one, this has to be the one, and it's going to be the only one that turns up in my life, and it's a very strong feeling. So, and you've got the Knight of Wands here, so there's like a sexual way that you flirt. It's quite forward as well, it's quite open and it's quite fun. But also with you, I don't know whether it's something you're going through at the moment, there's an intensity about you. This person doesn't have this intensity. Well, they do, but it's in a different way. It's a more obvious way. I wonder whether it's something that you feel that you need to hide, because when you fall in love or when you want something, you go all out to get it. And I wonder whether it scares you because you're coming across as quite gentle and sweet. Tough on yourself, but gentle and sweet. So I wonder whether the intensity that you feel for this person, the way that you flirt, is some you often feel like you need to weigh it up a bit so that you don't come across too intense. Because you're coming across as the Knight of Wands, which is basically, I have to stop myself being rude. I was going to say, no, I'm not going to say it. It's basically, it's just horsey. It's just driven by desires. It's passionate, it's fun, it's adventurous. It makes everything fun. It's the type of person that likes to go out and drink until 4 or 5 in the morning and dance on tables. You know, wants life to be bigger. But with Pluto here, there's something else behind it that I wonder, maybe with the Strength card as well, maybe you're both hiding something. You're both hiding something bigger than the way that you're appearing when you're flirting. Something stronger and something more in depth and hidden in some way. Let me have a look at your last cards. Okay. So when you fall in love and how you fall in love is fast. And I think that you feel that you need to hide something from this person. I think your flirting is different because I think you're very similar in the way that you flirt, that you're both out there, you're obvious and you're straight, and there's nothing hidden. You won't hide your sexual attraction to them and vice versa. But I think with you, I think you fall in love really fast. And then I wonder whether you feel like you need to pull back because you're afraid of giving too much. With Pluto here, 7 of Swords, and Uranus. Uranus, when they fall in love, and the way they in the 5th house, is somebody that is very attractive in a magnetic way, but tends to fall in love quickly. It's like being hit by lightning. It makes me think very much of Eros as well, which we've had in the other piles. It's fast, it's quick, and it blows you off your feet. And then you've got the 7 of Swords next to it, which with Pluto makes me think that when you're flirting, it makes me think of somebody who flirts really well, is really fun, and then comes out of the situation and wonders whether you've given too much, whether you've given too much away. Your person is similar in that I think the flirting is big and obvious, and then I think that they may overthink things a little bit, but there's no anxiety with it. There's just like, oh my gosh, what did I say? But it's still a loving, more at ease with themselves, where I think that whether your emotions are naturally more intense anyway, so you basically blow up the situation in your head and wonder whether you've revealed too much. That's just the feeling I'm getting. Right, so your energies together are both of you probably wondering whether you need to play it cool or whether you just need to carry on as you are. Because you are a real mixture of coolness, and that in the best sense, cool as in like, you know, people probably think you're quite cool, but I wonder whether you are a little bit reserved some way. Neptune, the Five of Pentacles, makes me wonder whether you feel as if a little bit vulnerable at times, as if you may not fit into different situations, but I think that you're quite attracted to this person and vice versa. So I think you possibly think this is the person that will make everything else feel good. Because with this Pluto here, it's almost as there's an intensity in the attraction to this person that can possibly just be painful to you. Because sometimes you can be so attracted to people that it does feel as if it's carrying away. It's like being walked by your dog and walking your dog. The Eight of Wands here with your Uranus, which I've swapped the cards around now, makes me feel that this relationship or this flirting or this attraction, and when you get together, it's been fast and it's been intense and it's made you both feel good. There's like attraction there. It's been fast, it's been fun, it's been quick moving, and with the Nine of Cups here as well, it makes me think that you both make each other feel good. Right, so I'm actually slipping away from the question. How do you flirt? You both flirt in a very similar manner. You're both open and you're both very generous with your words. You probably compliment each other. You're probably very affectionate. You probably touch each other. You probably include lots of different people and you enjoy good times. You enjoy going out. You enjoy having fun. You speak the truth to each other and you both welcome that. Your person would be not very pleased if the truth hurt, though. I don't think they would take criticism very well, because that Strength card here makes me think of Leo. You can't insult a Leo in a relationship, it kills them. I think your person is generally a kind and giving person. I think that's the way that they come across in relationships, and what they actually want from somebody is probably somebody who's thoughtful and giving back to them. You match them in the fun department. You fall in love fast, but I think that you may be the person that feels the intensity straight away and then wonders whether you're going to come across too much. It's very possible that your person feels similar, but in a more sexual way. Yours is just a general intensity that you probably need a close bond, a close one-to-one bond with this person or with somebody that you're flirting with. But I think your person may feel as if they may need to tame their sexual side a little bit, because they don't want to come across with Jupiter and the Strength as being too sexual, because I wonder whether they've pushed themselves in past relationships where they've been rebuffed in some way. Not in a negative way, but in a way that they've basically shown their attraction and their sexuality in some way, and you know, something's happened that's made them think, actually, I'm not going to do that again. Right, so that's how you two flirt. You flirt big. Both of you flirt big. You're obvious and you're open, and then I think that you need to pull back sometimes, because I think you may feel like you've given too much, and there's a slight vulnerability about you that is quite dreamy, and I think that you possibly, with Saturn, the Five of Pentacles and the King of Swords, be not at ease with the passion that you feel, and your flirting is big, and then it's like, oh my God, what have I done? So right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 3. I hope that made sense in some way. Because it's a real, especially you are coming across as a real mixture of energy, in that you are quite cool in everyday life, but dreamy with it as well. And there's a feeling of a detached feeling of sometimes feeling that you don't know where you fit in. I think you're quite confident in yourself in some ways, and the fact that you know who you are, but you wonder whether you'll be accepted in different situations. So when you're flirting, your natural passion and your excitement comes out, and then I think that you basically, with Pluto and the Seven of Swords, may just pull back. Your person is very similar to you in that they give big time, and they're very giving, with Virgo and the King of Cups here. So I don't think you've much to fear from this person apart from insulting their pride. Right, okay, I'm going to finish there. I hope that helps in some way. I think I've been talking for 2 hours. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again. Bye.